When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future videos and updates that I do post on my community tab frequently. If you want to get access to my content early, check out the Discord. This is part 1 of the Zombie Apocalypse Academia. Now, before we begin, I'm going to be implementing a new type of zombie into the story. The character model that I found, I think it's from Dead Space, but I'm not totally sure. I'm just giving you a heads up. You might find it familiar. So, I was trying to find a certain zombie type, but couldn't really find it. But this was the closest thing I could find. Something that's a bit more terrifying than your normal daily zombies. Anyways, let's continue where we last left off in our story. Once the coast was clear, Deku and his homeroom teacher, Yang, began to leave the classroom as Deku created another machete and handed over to his teacher. The man gratefully took the machete and gave Deku a gentle nod as they continued to travel through the hallway. As an incoming cadet zombie rushed towards the two of them, the homeroom teacher used the blunt end of the machete to stop the movement of the charging zombie, while Deku plunged his machete into the back of the skull of the zombie as the zombie fell limp and fell to the ground dead once again. Thanks. As Yang thanked Deku for the assist. No problem, Sensei. We should probably get moving. You're probably right about that. I hear footsteps, so there's probably more incoming our way. They immediately entered one of the classrooms that was filled with a couple of zombies. Deku begins to target the closest zombie to his location and threw a throwing knife, hitting bullseye right into the zombie's head, piercing its brain, killing it as it drops dead to the ground, while Yang took out the rest with his machete covered in blood. With the room secured, they threw out the bodies out of the window and closed the curtains as they heard more footsteps walking past the door to the classroom. Deku and his teacher, Yang, remained quiet to keep their presence unknown by the zombies walking past the door. When the coast was clear, they continued on their way. They finally made it to the cafeteria, but to their surprise, there was survivors, several cadets, ranging in all ages, and a couple of teachers that managed to survive. As they're trying to fight off a small group of zombies that managed to get inside the cafeteria, as one of the cadets was pinned by one of the larger zombies. Deku kicked the zombie off of the female cadet and slam his machete into the back of the skull of the zombie. As blood began to spatter across Deku's face. As the female teacher approached and started to talk with instructor Yang, while his homeroom teacher was talking with the female teacher and the rest of the teachers, he began to analyze the condition of all the survivors. By looks alone, they seemed to be rattled, scared, but unharmed, out of a few cuts and scrapes among them all. Deku was broken out of his thoughts by the female cadet that he saved earlier, started to talk to him. "Thank you. I would have died if you didn't help." "Think nothing of it. Thank God you managed to survive, Instructor Yang. It wasn't very easy, but thanks to Cadet Midori over there, we managed to get here unscathed." She realized the boy was covered in blood. "How is he doing?" "He's doing pretty well, considering the situation. I just hope the boy can keep himself together long enough to get out of here." "What do you mean?" "Yang. He had to fight his way through the dormitories." "Are you serious? The dormitories? They have a heavy presence of those feral cadets and teachers." I was surprised as well. "Is there any other survivors, Miss Lee?" "No, not to my knowledge. I really don't know what to do. They never covered this in the training videos we had to do when we took a teacher position at this academy." "Not surprising, the training videos don't cover zombies. You can't be serious. Zombies?" "That's what there most likely are. Until I get evidence otherwise. They're zombies in my eyes." "What do we do, Yang?" "It's quite simple, Miss Lee. We get these kids out of here. If we're lucky, whatever is happening is just a isolated case. We can't stay here for long. But moving with large numbers would be just ringing the dinner bell for those bastards." "I do have a suggestion, Sensei," as Deku approached the two teachers. "Let's hear it, Midoriya." We can't clearly move around the academy with such large numbers, and some of these other cadets are quite young. We just need someone to venture through the campus to get a vehicle big enough to hold everyone. If I remember right, the academy does have a large van that would fit that quite nicely. That could hold everyone. What do you think, Sensei?" "It's a solid plan, but it's still a dangerous plan." "I'm fully aware of the danger. It was my original plan. It clearly has to be slightly altered, considering there's so many survivors left." "You can't be serious, young man. You want to go out there alone?" As Miss Lee doesn't know what to think about this. She doesn't like the idea of sending a cadet out there to be eaten by those monsters. "Yes, Miss Lee, that's what I'm suggesting. I work better alone anyways. I don't like this, but we don't really have much of a choice. You're small enough so you could easily maneuver around the zombies. Do you know where the garage is? Yes, I have a map of the entire campus layout in my backpack, and I've already memorized the entire layout. Just in case I needed to memorize it. In case I don't have the map. Don't worry, Miss Lee. I'm not going to fight every single affected cadet that I see. I can't just let you do that, young man. It's far too dangerous. All due respect, Miss Lee, you really don't have a choice. I'm going, and that's the end of the subject. As much as I agree with Miss Lee over there, I know you're not going to listen, and this is our only chance. And I know you by now that you're not going to listen. Not in the slightest, sir. I'll rest for a few hours, then I'll head out. Miss Lee sighed to herself. If you're gonna do something crazy like this, at least take this. And she handed over a walkie. We have the other one here, so please keep us informed on your situation. Will do, Miss Lee. I'm going to rest my eyes for a few hours. As he walked away and walked into the kitchen and leaned against the kitchen wall and closed his eyes. Ever since the outbreak at the military school academy, he had to do things that he normally wouldn't do, but he'll do what's necessary for his survival. If that means he has to dirty his hands, so be it. That doesn't mean he has to like it. After Decky got a few hours of sleep recovering what stamina he used just trying to stay alive. After he got up and ate a couple of things, as Miss Lee and Yang saw him create weapons and start to hand them out, all towards the other cadets, machetes, swords, spears, and so on. It didn't take him long to get every cadet that was old enough to hold a weapon. With everyone well armed, they have the ability to protect themselves while he's gone. At least you guys are armed. I'm heading out. I'll be putting the channel on 3 on the walkie. Be careful out there, Cadet Midoriya. No problem, Sensei. Deku left the cafeteria as they immediately locked up the door the moment Deku stepped out. Deku had to use the tight corners to invade all of the zombie cadets and staff that are walking aimlessly down the hallway of the large building that they use to host their staff and cadets for their education. Basically the classroom, basically. Academy separates 3 buildings where majority of the teaching takes place. Deku is currently in one of those buildings as he swiftly maneuver around the zombies using the tight corners to hide behind objects and safely get out of the building without the little zombies know the wiser, and found himself outside. Deku immediately hid behind a tree as a few zombies walk past him. Deku is currently breathing and slowly calming his nerves as he immediately bolted out of his hiding spot behind the large tree and immediately took out one of the zombie cadets walking in his path, by throwing a throwing knife that pierced the skull, killing the zombie as it fell down to the floor dead. Deku continued to take out each zombie that stepped in his path by either throwing a throwing knife or using his hatchet to pierce the brain, and moved on until he had to stop as a large group of them was heading straight ahead. Unfortunately, the path he needs to go to the garage, is where the zombies are at. That means he has to go the opposite route. Only problem with that route, as he has that route does lead to the garage, but the route is stabbed right in the middle of a forest that the academy built around when the academy was first built, wanting to keep the natural forest intact, so they build around it. Deku took out his walkie. This is Cadet Midoriya. The path to the garage has too heavy a presence of those things. This is Yang. Heard you loud and clear. There's only one way to get to the garage if that path is blocked off. But it's going to be the most dangerous route to take. The Force. Exactly. God knows what's lurking in there. I would advise you to stop by one of the staff equipment storage in the immediate area where you're at now. It would be wise of you to grab a flashlight and other supplies in that building. It's quite large. It holds a lot of equipment, but you should definitely find some flashlights in there. And the sun is already coming down. It won't be long before night approaches, and you don't want to be out there at night alone without no light source. Copy that. Midoriya out. As Deku threw another throwing knife, killing another charging zombie, Deku made his way towards the equipment storage room that he sees in the distance. The building was quite large. When he got there, he noticed that the equipment storage room, or building, is completely surrounded by an electrical fence. Getting through the electrical fence was quite easy. The door leading inside the fence was unlocked. The moment he stepped inside, he locked it up, keeping the zombies out of the from passing the doorway into the little area. The electric fence should handle any stray zombies that gets attracted to this area. He pulled out his gun and entered the large building. He was surprised to find the storage room building to be such a large place. It's only, so far he can tell, it only has one floor that has several rooms. As he found himself in the main lobby area, there was barely any light emanating inside the room. Only light that can be seen is the ceiling lamp that is flickering on and off, as the light bulb was ready to burn out anytime. He found a key rack behind the counter and grabbed the first pair of keys he saw and entered one of the rooms leading to the hallway. On each side of the hallway, there are doors. Right above the doors, there's labels on top of them, identifying what's being kept in these rooms. Suddenly, Deku could hear a inhuman screech that echoed through the hallway of the building. Deku tried to open the nearest door using the key. Each Each key he tried did not fit, as the inhuman screeches only continue, and Deku could tell it's getting closer, as the noises are starting to get louder. He finally unlocked the door and shut it behind him and locked it immediately. He slowly dimmed the light so the light doesn't attract whatever's on the other side of that door. He has no desire to find out what that inhuman screech came from. He looked around the room. He saw several variations of different devices. He decided to take a couple walkie-talkies and put in his backpack. Alongside was a charging station for the walkies. Alongside was a couple spare batteries. No flashlights. He didn't have enough time to look at the label of the door that he just walked into, so he's uncertain what's inside this room. He looked around the room for a little bit more and found a little office area. He unlocked the door, unlocked it, and closed the curtains to the window of the office and leaned against the wall while sitting down, collapsing on his behind and closing his eyes. As Deku could hear the same kind of screeching from the hallway of the building. Deku waited for the unnatural sounds to calm down. Then he left the office and quietly left the room and went down the hallway. At the end of the hall, he opened a door that led to a stairway going downwards as he begins to descend the stairs to the sub-level of this building. It didn't take Deku long to get to the bottom of the stairs, to the sub-level. It wasn't that deep, it was basically like a basement. Deku opened the door to see the sub-level of the building. He sees a singular ceiling lamp that's waving around back and forth right dab in the middle of the room. But the rest of the room is engulfed in pure darkness. Deku saw a shelf to the side to the right, and began to grab flashlights and batteries for the flashlights into his backpack as he heard something in the room. As he turned around, Deku thought he saw a huge shadow in the darkness, until something stepped out of the shadow as the light revealed itself to him. Deku was completely horrified by the sight he sees in front of him. It doesn't even look human anymore. It looks something out of a nightmare. As whatever this is, well, basically a mutated zombie, as the mutated zombie gave out a horrible screech and charged Deku. Deku immediately spun around and ran up the stairs. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. As he glanced behind him to see the big mutated zombie giving chase right behind him, climbing up the stairs, cracking the wall as he's a bit big, but he forced his way through. He burst open the door by kicking it. Then he immediately shot several zombies that was in the hallway as he kept firing his gun while he's running through the hallway, not even stopping, not even for 1 second, as he glanced over his shoulder to see the mutated zombie is still in mid-chase after him. So he shot a couple rounds at the zombie, only for the mutated zombie spikes to ricochet the bullets to the side. Deku immediately ran out of the building and right through the front gate that connects the entryway to get into the little sealed off area because of the electric fence. He shut the gate and locked it, but to his surprise, as he looked behind him while he's running, the mutated zombie burst right through the gate and gave chase once again. God damn it, as Deku immediately ran towards the forest that's on the property of the academy. With the mutated zombie hot on Deku's trail, Deku ran right into the forest and began to zigzag around all the tree trunks, only for the mutated zombie to run right through the trees, knocking them over. Damn it, that damn monster is persistent. As Deku maneuvered by running between different tree trunks, only for the mutated zombie to run right through those trees as well. The damn thing is the damn thing is bulldozing through everything, bulldozing right through the damn forest. Think, Izuku, think. Once he got enough distance from himself and the mutated zombie, he hid into a hole into a shallow, large tree. As the behemoth of a zombie ran past him, Deku's heart is pounding rapidly. Once he got his breathing under control, that's when the sun finally fell. As the moon slowly begins to rise. Fuck, it's going to get dark fast. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of this forest as soon as possible. Deku took the trail to the garage. Luckily, the mutated zombie went the other way, in the completely opposite area, direction. The long trail through the forest was very unnerving for Deku, constantly hearing footsteps and groans and moans from the zombies that's in the forest. Luckily, Deku didn't come across any of them. The pathway, or the trail he's using, was lit up by street lamps on the trail, so he wasn't completely in the dark. He really didn't need the flashlight, but it's good to have them just in case, nevertheless. It's a good item to have. It took Deku an hour and a half to get to the garage. The front of the garage is completely infested with zombies. Deku chose to go through the side entryway, avoiding the large number of zombies that are standing in front of the entryway of the garage. Deku picked the side door and gained entry to the garage. The garage was completely empty, with no zombies. There were several different kinds of vehicles in the garage he found, but he found what he was looking for. He took out his walkie and tried to call Yang, but all Deku could hear is static. "This is Cadet Midoriya. Are you there, Sensei?" Yang. As he heard nothing but static. This is not good. This is not good at all. As he looked around to find several set of keys on the walls, luckily, the keys he picked up was the right ones to open the door to the van. As he ran over and pressed the button to open the garage, and ran back into the van, closed the door. As he immediately began to turn the key a couple times, as the zombie noticed the headlights flickering on and off, and a noise coming from the engine as the key is being turned, as the engine keeps stalling, as Deku is trying to turn the key as the zombies slowly walk towards Deku, as a few of them entered the garage. Deku continued to try to start the car until the vehicle finally started up, as Deku slammed onto the gas pedal and began to mow down all the zombies in his way, with the van driving right through them, heading towards the classroom building where the rest of the survivors are currently at. He immediately parked the vehicle and took care of all the zombies near the building, and used his keycard to enter and go into the cafeteria. What he saw what awaits him horrified him. He saw the door broken down through. He stepped inside, and the scene still was. He wasn't expecting this. Every single one of them were dead on the floor. Miss Lee is on the floor, covered in blood, has bite marks all over her body. His homework teacher, Yang, was dead as well, along with all the other cadets. Every single one of them. Deku fell to his knees as his hair is covering his face, concealing his eyes. As his eyes slightly glow green, slightly, as Deku got up. After Deku got over his little freak out and got up, as he slowly waited in the middle of the cafeteria with his firearm in his hands, as he checked to see if it was fully loaded. Despite everything, this is the perfect chance to see how long it takes when someone is killed by a zombie. How long does it take for them to reanimated once again to a man-eating zombie? As he waited, 1 hour turned into 2, 2 hours turned into 3, 3 hours turned into 4 hours. Then, after 4 hours of waiting, the first corpse began to rise up to their feet as Deku watched what used to be Miss Lee, zombified, began to walk towards Deku. Deku immediately pointed his gun towards the zombified teacher. Without even looking. I'm sorry. As he shot her in the head, as the zombified Miss Lee fell down to the ground, dead. This time permanently, as another one begins to rise, as he executes that one as well. One by one, gunshots could be heard throughout the entire building, as one after another reanimated zombies that was once a survivor were killed. Deku did that continuously without no expression on his face. When his bullets ran out, he loaded another magazine into the single shot handgun. There was only one corpse left that hasn't been reanimated into a zombie. And that was Yang, his homeroom teacher. His homeroom teacher slowly gets up with his feet growling and snarling as he slowly walked towards Deku. With a singular teardrop sliding down onto Deku's face. Deku's always like this man. He's always found him to be a good teacher. As he pointed his gun at his teacher. I'm sorry, Sensei. I truly am. But I need to move on. I am truly sorry. As he shot him in the head. As the body fell down to the ground limp. No longer moving. As he slowly put his pistol back into his holster and walked into the kitchen with his backpack on his back and began to load up any food and water he could find. Canned food for anything that won't expire right away. With his backpack loaded, he walked out of the cafeteria and the building and went into the van and shut the door and began to travel through the academy. He sees several survivors running for their lives. Deku completely ignored them and drove past them. As he finally got out of the academy and drove onto this road, leaving the academy in the distance. And that's where we're going to stop it. Hope you guys have a good night and day. Enjoy your time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.